The Soo Greyhounds are proud to select Brady Martin from the Waterloo Wolves.
You'd be at a tournament and you kind of have certain games scheduled, and then even if Waterloo wasn't on the list, you're like, well, let's see what Martin's up to here. And he was just a guy that every chance you got to see him, he had an impact on his game. He plays it any way you want, with high speed, high skill. He has a will and a strength and a power to his game at the same time. And I just found that, as we interviewed players toward the draft, every guy kept bringing up, like, who do you not like playing against? Brady Martin, and who would you like to bring with you if you could? Brady Martin. It was just something that just kept sticking with us. And it was funny, even when we got up to development camp, a lot of people here and even our coaching staff, don't get a large opportunity to follow that U16 circuit. So, whether it's the right thing or not, I always try and underplay it. Hopefully these guys are going to be over deliver when they get up to it. And it wasn't too long into our development camp that it was you could tell he'd arrived, and he's just such a special person and a player. And I'm just excited to see him jump in. And he's one of those few guys that I think, isn't going to take a huge learning curve, and he's going to be able to add an impact to our lineup right away. So we're really excited about him.
The Soo Greyhounds are proud to select Travis Hayes from Troy CompuWare.
Well, I think with Travis, he probably didn't even get as much hype about him as he deserved, just kind of where he was playing. And I think sometimes the American players, aren't seen as much in terms of what you kind of, follow along with some of the Ontario kids. But I think with, Travis, real effective skater, obviously a dangerous goal scorer. Puck's he's a guy in the offensive zone that can get a little bit lost. And all of a sudden with the shot that he has, which is elite, can just really kind of put goalies on their heels. And I think he's somebody that, maybe it's the older brothers or maybe it's something, but he's a fiery competitor. He's in guys' faces. And I think when we were looking at, bringing in the first couple picks, we wanted guys that really had that high motor. And I think Travis and, Brady Martin kind of fit that bill, but at the same time, you're not sacrificing that skill. And I think that's, the lucky part of having two high picks in each one of those rounds. And I think, Travis, as he gets stronger, is just going to be, a deadly force, because I think when you see him compete, he doesn't back down from anybody. And I think that's why he's able to put himself in situations to be an elite goal scorer. Yeah, I'd agree. With Hunter, it was kind of the progression as the year went on. I think originally you see the size, you see the skating, you see that little element of physicality that he brings to his game. But I think as the year went on, you saw him get a lot of those tough matchups, the ability that, not just stop and take away time and space from opposing players, but also jumping into the offense and kind of creating that through transition. And I think as you saw that confidence kind of grow with him, I thought he was somebody that we were looking at when you see he checks a lot of those boxes. As I said, he's got great size, he can skate, the right shot, he's got a good shot, but he's also somebody that, has got a little meanness to his game. And I think that's something that's going to give him a little more space and time. And I think as he kind of continues to develop and add confidence to it, he's going to be somebody that can step right in and really add to a back end. So I think with Brady Smith, he was a situation where he could play at different spots in the lineup. I think playing with the kind of players he did this year, he probably went a little bit under the radar, which was probably unfair to him. So it was a little bit lucky to us that he was there when we were able to pick him. But I thought he did a lot of the dirty work in terms of, helping out his line, with some real high-end players that he played with. But, he's somebody that he can really, he's play a heavy game, go to the dirty areas, but at the same time has great skill, can really shoot the puck. And I think whenever you see high-end skilled players want to play with that type of player, I just think sometimes you need that motor on that line. And I think he checks that box in terms of what he can drive a line with other guys. And at the same time, when you're playing with elite players and they want to play with you, I think it just kind of adds to your skill set moving forward. You first think about him, he's got great size, great mobility, very smooth in terms of going back for puck retrievals, exiting the zone. I think he's got a good stick when he's defending. And he's another guy that, is so composed with the puck. Every time there's a purpose between what he's doing with his feet, with his head, with his hands, you can kind of really see it deliberately in his game. And I think he's somebody that, similar to kind of Brady Smith in a sense that played on a great back end there with the Marlies and probably didn't get the credit he deserved in a lot of ways, but you could just see the trust the coaching staff had him to put him in situations. And I think as his game kind of continues to evolve, I think you're going to see even more offense come out of it when he's put in those situations. But yeah, definitely when you can have a defender that skates that well, sees the game really well, I think it just kind of adds to that skill package. And we were excited to get him when we did, because I thought we were able to add guys that we weren't just hoping they're going to be able to figure it out, or hope it, we talk a lot about it when we make a selection of just you have that 18 months of hey, can we get that player to that level? But I think with what we're kind of making those bets on are a lot more of that player that we are always successful with. And it's some guys are better with different organizations, but the guys that we were able to pick, I think, are always going to be guys that check a lot of boxes for us in the Soo. And I think that's that, highly creative, highly intelligent player with speed that competes with that motor, great stick, and just has that extra swagger with the puck on their stick. And I think we were able to do that consistently. And I think you're going to see a lot of these guys in our lineup in the near future.